Hey guys, welcome to another Thursday edition of the Vinyl Den, your channel for record collecting by record collectors. My name is Nick. Today I'm going to talk about something that if you've been watching the channel for a while, you know I'm a big fan of this band. Obviously, I got all their albums behind me. I'm wearing their shirt today. I'm really excited about this. This is something that I ordered all the way back in March of this year. So I've been waiting 5 months for this thing. Today I'm going to be opening up the MxPx vinyl box set. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you click on the link down below and go check out the Vinyl Den Facebook group. You know, I know I say it every week, but it's just a growing community where we kind of continue the music conversation. And I'm sure I'll be posting a bunch of pictures of this box set and albums as I listen through the box set. But definitely check that out. There's a couple other links down there. There's one for the Vinyl Den merch page. We got t-shirts and sweatshirts on there. And there's also the link for the Patreon page if you want to support the show. It's always greatly appreciated. If you enjoyed the episode, make sure you give the old thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell so you're notified every time we release new episodes. So if you don't know who MxPx are, they're one of those, I hate the term pop punk, so I'm going to say punk rock. They're one of those punk rock bands they formed in the early-ish, mid-ish 90s. And in 2000, the later part of the 90s, they had some relatively successful tracks. Got a lot of radio play. Chick Magnet was one, which is off of the Life in General album, which is right there. And then they had I'm Okay, You're Okay, which is off of their album Slowly Going the Way of the Buffalo, which is right next to it. And because I've got all my original pressings up on the wall. Those are all pretty hard to come by. When I got back into collecting vinyl several years back now, it was MxPx actually was the one that got me back into it. They were doing a Kickstarter for their new album, which came out in, I think it was 2018 is when it came out. But they did a Kickstarter to help fund the recording of the process. And part of the Kickstarter, when you get into it, was you got a vinyl version of it. So that's why I was like, hey, I'm going to get this album. I might as well buy some more and buy a turntable and listen to all this stuff again. So, because, I grew up listening to records, and it was just something that, obviously as time went on, like a lot of you out there, I kind of stopped buying them and went to CDs, and then kind of went to digital, and have kind of all gone back to CDs and vinyl now. But, so they're a band that I've loved since, probably 97, 98. I've seen them a bunch of times. My wife and I have seen them in multiple states. Actually, we just took the kids back in 2019, I think it was. We took them out to Chicago for an MxPx show. So, obviously, I'm a huge fan. My wife's a big fan also. So, when they announced, because like I said, their vinyl, their original pressings have been, really hard to find. They're really limited. Obviously, a lot of those were pressed in the late 90s or through the mid 90s, late 90s, and then early 2000s where, because then they stopped doing them there was one album that was never released on vinyl. So obviously you couldn't get that one, but all the other ones, they ran, $150 plus on Discogs, on eBay. And that was when you could find them on there. So when they announced this box set, I was really thrilled because there was 2 of their studio albums that I've never been able to get. So one of them is their first album, which I was never a huge fan of, and I wasn't going to pay, $250 for, which is about what it's been going for online. Actually, I've seen it go all the way up to $500. So they did 1,500 of these is what they announced. So I'm a member of the MxPx fan club, so I was actually able to go on a day before the pre-sales went out. So I actually managed to pick up 2 of these. So I got 2 of the 1,500 I'm going to open up today. I know there's probably a lot of you out there, like I believe my wife actually even said it when I ordered these was, why do you really need 2 of them? And it's kind of, there's multiple reasons why. First off, it's super limited. There's only 1,500 of them. So my fear was if I ordered a box set and it came damaged, I wasn't going to be able to replace it. I had the money at the time to buy both box sets, and I want to say they were like $300 or $350. So they weren't like super cheap, but they weren't like really expensive either. If the Ozzy Osbourne box set, which came out a couple years back, I want to say that was over $500 when you bought that. So I figured because it was relatively cheap when you consider it's, 10 albums, which, $30, $35 for an album isn't terribly cheap, but it's not really high out of the price range either. So considering what was included in it, because I am a big MxPx fan, obviously I wanted to have that. Plus I figured if both of them come in perfect shape, I'll have a great one to kind of showcase, and then the other ones I'll put in my record collection. So, and I guess lastly, if anything ever happens, I'll have an extra one I can sell, because they're already going for, $600, $700, $800. I've seen one on Discogs earlier today is listed for, I think, $1,500. So, obviously it's not something I'm looking to flip, but if something ever happens, I'll have the ability, if I need to sell it to make some money. So anyway, I'm going to crack these open real quick. That's the other thing. These are each 15 pounds each. So is there a total weight on here? This thing, it weighs a solid 30, 35 pounds. So I'm not going to be able to hold it up in a good way to kind of show you. But the box is not the best shape. You can see the corners kind of banged up. It's got some creases on it. It was shipped to the band from overseas, so it probably was pressed in Europe and then shipped from Washington, the state of Washington, to here. So it's seen some mileage on it. The box obviously just came from Washington. But anyway, I'm going to crack this thing open here. Hopefully they're in decent shape. So it makes me feel a little bit better that they're like boxes inside of a box. And really, in hindsight, they probably should have shipped these in 2 separate boxes. I probably would have felt a little better about that, at least the way it was shipped. I obviously would have paid a little bit more in shipping costs to have it shipped in 2 separate boxes, just because I knew it was going to be kind of a heavier package. There's one of them. Get that box out of the way. Let me get this other one open. The first one looks like it's in great shape, so it might be good. And looks good. Looks like both of them came in perfect shape. Now here's the hard part. Now I got to figure out which one I want to open. It looks like the logo on the front of this one. One of them, the logo is a little like not colored all the way in. So I'm gonna open up this one. Like I said, both of them look like they're in great shape, box wise. So then I'll probably just take this one and set it up like on top of my album display case. But I think it's kind of heavy. Like I said, that's a solid 15 pounds. Like it's got MxPx on the side. Really nice looking box. Nothing really on the back. The one thing I did notice right away is, like I said, there's only 1,500 of these. And with it being limited, I kind of expected it to be numbered, and it's not. So unless there's some kind of numbering on the inside. Let me crack this thing open. Yeah, because generally when things are limited like that, like with the Ozzy set, I believe all those were numbered. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, if I'm wrong, you can drop me a comment down below and let me know. But I know a lot of bands have kind of gotten away from numbering things, especially when it comes to like RSD releases and things like that. And I kind of wonder if that's because maybe they're not really. They're not being completely truthful on how many they're really pressing. So it's probably kind of hard to see, but it's almost like a cloth lining on the box. So I can already tell, I mean, this is a really nice, they put a lot of time and effort and money into these boxes. It looks absolutely fantastic, but I think the top just slides off of this thing. And then that's what you get. You get all 10 copies, and it's got a photo book in here. I'm sorry, it's not a photo book. It's a letter book. This is letters that the band has kind of collected over the years. So it's really cool. Really kind of cool. I'll flip through this and check this out. But I know that they took a lot of time and really kind of made something kind of special for this box. It's not really, like I said, most of these albums you can buy individually, even though they are kind of pricier, but something like this, you're never going to get without having this box set. So it's definitely cool. I'll take the time later to kind of flip through that, but that looks really cool. It's a nice addition. Something I'll probably never use, but I'll set it on my shelf. This is it's a platter mat, but it's got their little MxPx guy on there. Crack open some of these albums now, because I know all these are on split color. This is their first album, Poking At You. This is the one that I was never going to spend the money to get. I think this is also the album that I saw somebody online say they got 2 side A and side B discs. So that's one thing I will say is if you have bought this box set, make sure you go through and double check your discs, because you don't want to get in a situation where you've got an extra disc and they can't replace it. So it's kind of a nice split. The one thing I can say, so I've got 2 kind of knocks on this box set already. One is that they're not numbered, and the second one is that I'm not a big fan of the labels on here. Most of these are repressings, have already been pressed on vinyl before, so they had previous labels. So I would have been much happier if they would have stuck with kind of more an original label, something that was on one of the original pressings. I know they've all got these black labels. I've seen some other people kind of complain about it online also. So, and the albums that have 2 discs, the side D on them has this like MxPx logo, the little punk rock guy, which I think is kind of cool. They didn't try to like spread the tracks out even more and fill up a side D. I think there's 4 albums that have double discs or double LPs, and the side D on all 4 of them has this logo. So that's kind of cool. I think they did a really great job picking the colors, the split colors for these. This is their second album, Teenage Politics. And like I said, they really made sure that the colors really kind of went with the album cover. It's got the green and yellow, so that's a really cool look. I won't go through all the albums just because, like I said, there's 10 of them. But I'll kind of go through Life in General. If you guys have known me for a long time, I've actually got a podcast called the Life in General Podcast. So that's where the name of that came from. My second favorite MxPx album, and one that my wife actually bought me for my birthday a couple years back. She actually bought it from Japan. Was Slowly Going the Way of the Buffalo. Fantastic album. I don't remember what color this is though. This is and this is like a tan and green kind of color. I don't know if it comes through really well on the camera there. So that kind of goes along with the album cover also. So can't wait to clean these things up because there is some dirt on them. But I'm gonna clean them up. I'll obviously put them in some good inner and outer sleeves. Give some of these a spin later. The one album that I was really definitely looking forward to, like I said, this is my favorite MxPx album and one that's never been available on vinyl. My wife also, I believe this is her favorite album also. But Before Everything and After is fantastic. Just a good, and a lot of their fans don't really like this album. They felt it was a little too commercial, a little too polished. But I think overall it's a fantastic album, some of the best work. And then I love the split blues on that. It looks really cool. One of the other things I really like about this box set is they try to stick to the original artwork. Because they've got 2 albums that, their first album, which is Poking At You, was reissued with a different album cover back in 2015, I think it was. So I'm glad they kind of went back to the original artwork on that. And this next one, this is one, if you see right over my shoulder here, it's called Secret Weapon. That was like an alternate cover that they released for the vinyl release. So it's nice to see them kind of go back to the original artwork, which is, I don't remember what year this came out, but this is another one of my favorite of their albums. Color-wise, it's not the best color. It's like a silver and brown, but I get it. It still kind of goes along with the album artwork. And then another one that I'm really kind of looking forward to. This is that self-titled release that I got into with the Kickstarter, which the Kickstarter one is the same one that has this album cover. There's actually two for the Kickstarter. The one in the middle is a signed copy that I also got. So kind of interested to see, like I said, because I bought it back 5 months ago, so I don't really remember all the albums, all the colors, but this one, it's like a red, and I like how it's got the like different red swirl in the middle of it. I thought that looked really cool. Well, that's all I got for you today, guys. Thanks for checking the show out. I didn't want to be too long of an episode. That's why I didn't go through each individual album, because there's 10 of them. So I didn't want it to be like a 20-25 minute video. It's probably going to be long enough already as it is. But, I get links down below for Instagram, for the Vinyl Den Facebook group. If you're on one of those, definitely see a bunch of pictures of some of the other albums as I kind of go through them. If you haven't checked out MxPx, I would really recommend either Slowly Going the Way of the Buffalo or Before Everything and After. I think those are kind of the two more accessible albums, if you want to put it that way, where a lot of like more casual rock fans or punk rock fans can kind of get into those albums, because they are a really great band. They've got a lot of really great music, but if you enjoy the episode, make sure you give the old thumbs up, hit that subscribe button down below, and come check out the show on Sunday. Well, that's all I got. Until next time, keep on spinning. Peace.